which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the June 3rd, 2020 Darien Town Board meeting. Start at 7:30. We'll open the meeting with the approval of the minutes, with the reading of the minutes, I should say. Alice, would you read the minutes, please?
Sure. May 6, 2020, regular meeting of the town of Darien. Meeting live streamed on YouTube Live. All board members present. At 7:30 p.m., the supervisor called the meeting to order and recited the pledge to the flag. Resolution 50, meeting minutes. Councilman Grant offered a resolution to accept dispensing with reading the meeting minutes from the April 1st, 2020 meeting, seconded by Councilman Kresman. All ayes. Resolution 51, street flags. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to authorize the highway superintendent to install an American flag on identified poles in the town prior to the Memorial Day holiday and remove those decorations at a convenient time after the Columbus Day holiday, seconded by Councilman Fix. All ayes. Resolution 52, veterans flags. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to authorize 3 small family groups to place flags on veterans' graves in the cemeteries for this Memorial Day holiday. Please use social distancing protocols, seconded by Councilman Kresman. All ayes. No, National Grid's opt-in program to replace any end-of-life high-intensity discharge HID roadway street lights with energy-efficient LED roadway lights at no cost to the town was resolved last year at this time. Resolution 53. Roadside mowing. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to authorize the town supervisor to sign the 2020 roadside mowing contract from the state of New York at the same lane mile price as 2019, $375 per center lane mile. Seconded by Councilman Fix. Superintendent Marzov stated that we can finish and pass, but as of right now, the state is going to mow themselves because there's no money for them to contract out. By passing a resolution, we are all set if something changes. All ayes. Supervisor Ferry brought up the possibility of reopening the transfer station and what the board feels should be done. May 15th is supposed to be the opening of phase 1, but it's not looking like that will happen. Our workers are willing to go back and work under protocol, possibly open either May 16th or May 23rd. Council member offered input and asked questions. Resolution 54, transfer station. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to reopen the transfer station on May 16, 2020 for Saturdays only, seconded by Councilman Fix. Councilman Benton stated the board would be looking at over the next couple of months. All ayes. Resolution 55, C&D. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to allow the C&D portion of the transfer station to reopen as well on May 16, 2020, seconded by Councilman Benton. All ayes. Discussion was held on the reopening of the town hall. Resolution 56, town hall. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to reopen the town hall with signage and protocols in place to allow the town clerk to reopen starting May 13, 2020, seconded by Councilman Grant. All ayes. Notifications. Received the first quarter revenue sharing sales tax from the county. Darien was one of 3 municipalities that got a charge back for water equalization. We are also one of 3 that did not sign the county agreement. Genesee County is to rescind the revenue sharing sales tax redistribution resolution at the Ways and Means meeting. Councilman President asked to verify that we are still under contract with the county. In the first water agreement, Supervisor Ferry confirmed that we are still under the contract. Highway received the truck that had the front end damage back yesterday. There was over $20,000 in damage. Insurance handled all except the deductible. Had to pull the radiator and get it re-cored on that truck. Wasn't covered under the insurance repair. Had been working on cutting trees and brush. Hauled about 40 truckloads of brush, so doing a lot of cleanup. Put in a few driveway culverts and ditching. Got notification that we should be getting the snow and ice payment in May or June, but then heard the state is holding all payments. CHIPS money is about $150,000. Not sure if we will get that money either. Getting pricing on road work planned to do, and we'll try to be pickier on what ones we will actually do this year. Employee who used to mow the lawns informed that he isn't interested in continuing. Got 4 quotes from a local mower for mowing and trimming from May 1st to November 1st. The quote for the town hall lawn is $500. The quote for the sewer plant lawn is $1,500. The quote for the fire hall property is $1,550. The quote for the 3 town-owned cemeteries is $1,450. Resolution 57, mowing. Councilman Graham offered a resolution to accept each of the 4 quotes for mowing from Diamond Landscaping and hire in accordance with each of the proposals as submitted, seconded by Councilman Kresman. All ayes. Resolution 58, town mower. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to keep the old mower for another year to see how it works, seconded by Councilman Fix. All ayes. ZEO report issued. Planning board suspended until at least 6/1. Attorney, have to go into executive session. We'll go over attorney matters then. Assessor, there is no townwide update this year. ZBA also suspended until at least 6/1. Engineer, Bruce hasn't gotten back to us, working remotely, which slows down the process. Talked to Jay Grasso about the income survey. He updated that we are eligible for another grant with the state up to $1 million. We can at least get into the queue for the grant now. Town clerk, town offices will be closed on Monday, May 25th for Memorial Day. Also have the quote for the flags for the veterans' graves and for the flags for the front of the town hall. Resolution 59, flags. Supervisor Ferry offer resolution to purchase flags in accordance with the Carrot Top quote signed by Councilman President. All ayes. Tax collector, final report read. Resolution 60, collector report. Supervisor Ferry offer resolution to accept the final tax collector's report signed by Councilman Benton. All ayes. Treatment plant. The plant did pretty well through the winter. Missed BOD and ammonia one time last month. Called the lab because the numbers were way out of whack from usual. Tested again. If these numbers are good, I'll call the DEC. Adding artificial bugs for ammonia. Every 5 years, go through the blowers. The guy to do that should be coming soon. It's about $6,000. Had been having a priming issue with a pump at the pump station. Had Kester check it. They said there are parts in there that are ready to croak, and we can't get those parts any longer. The part of the system has 6 different relays. Upgrading it would be about $1,700. It needs to be addressed and taken care of, or we will have problems. We have 2 pumps and always keep our fingers crossed whenever we have to pull a pump for repairs that we don't have a problem with the other one. Resolution 61, wastewater treatment repairs. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to authorize the treatment plant operator to get the necessary repairs, signed by Councilman President. All ayes. Resolution 62, abstract. Councilman Fix offered a resolution to pay General Fund 99 through 123 for $16,191.53. Highway 40 through 49 for $12,895.56. Sewer District 1, 21 through 29 for $4,001.97. Water District Number 5, Thing 1 for $742.50. And Trust and Agency 1 for $76 in accordance with the abstract, signed by Councilman Grant. All ayes. Resolution 63, cash report. Councilman Fix offered a resolution to accept the supervisor's cash report from March 2020, signed by Councilman President. All ayes. Resolution 64, executive session. Councilman Fix offered a resolution to enter into executive session at 8:20 p.m. in order to discuss a contract dispute, signed by Councilman Benton. All ayes. Board members discussed the contract dispute, and Supervisor Ferry relayed the information the town attorney gave related to the dispute. Resolution 65, water breakout. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to sign a letter to Genesee County Deputy Treasurer Kevin Andrews requesting a breakdown of the calculations from the first quarter revenue sharing, signed by Councilman Fix. All ayes. Resolution number 66, agreement. Supervisor Ferry offered a resolution to enter into an agreement with Demadio and Roach with respect to the Genesee County Water Agreement, signed by Councilman Grant. Supervisor Ferry stated that it will either be an agreement with just us and Demadio and Roach, or an agreement with other municipalities, us and Demadio and Roach, if the other municipalities so choose to enter into the agreement as well. All ayes. Resolution 67, executive session. At 8:43 p.m., Councilman Ferry offered a resolution to adjourn the executive session, signed by Councilman President. All ayes. Resolution 68, adjourn. At 8:44 p.m., Councilman Fix offered a resolution to adjourn, signed by Councilman Benton. All ayes.
Is there any corrections or additions to the minutes as read? Other than, is it a technical term, when we have problems with the sewer plant, that it croaks?
That's what he
Is
said.
that a technical issue that we're dealing with there, or is that just
I guess that's what happened.
No other corrections or additions to that? Clerk, call the roll.
I don't have.
I'm sorry,
I make the motion, we accept the minutes as read.
I'll second.
trying to get ahead of myself here. Clerk, call the roll.
Mike?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Dave? Steve?
Yes. Uh-huh. I wish he was back here. Okay. After the approval of minutes, I have a few resolutions to do here. First resolution, to refund Alfred Builders unused inspection fees due to the building project at 706 Genesee Street being abandoned due to the COVID-19 loss of their loans, etc. to the amount of $245. That is only part of it. He's still going to have to pay the $75 for the building permit because that was put through. So this is a return of funds, because the project dropped through.
I'll second that.
Discussion on the motion?
Those are basically the inspection fees.
Yes, that they're not, that hasn't happened, they didn't do. You did pay for the permit because there was work done on it. Any other questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Steve?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Resolution to credit Daryl James of 10494 Bonnie Brae Drive, approximately 7,500 gallons, onto his next sewer bill to replace the water in his swimming pool for minor replacement.
I'll second that.
We have a second. Basically what he's asking for is because the water is tied to the sewer and that's how he gets charged, because he's only using water and it's not going down the sewer, and that's what's happening. Resolution to author, I gotta call it. Well, I just want to get this meeting going here. Clerk, call the roll.
Steve?
Yes.
Mike Grant?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution to authorize, thank you. Authorize the town supervisor to sign property access for USDA technicians to trap and treat European cherry fruit flies on town property.
I'll second that.
Discussion on the motion? Clerk, call the roll.
Steve?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I have a resolution for a budget transfer. Transfer A8810.1 to A8810.4 lawn mowing personnel to lawn mowing contractual. Also, transfer A1620.1 to A1620.4 lawn mowing personal to contractual.
I'll second.
Is there a discussion on the motion? Clerk, call the roll.
Steve?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Resolution to change adult recreation budget line item A7620.4 from $10,500 to A7620.4 to $5,250 due to the loss of sales tax revenue by the Genesee County Legislature.
Second.
What I'll do is I'll make a phone call tomorrow. If it goes through, if it doesn't go through, I will also make a phone call and tell them where their budget stands. Okay? Is there any other discussion on the motion? Clerk, call the roll.
Steve?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
I will make that phone call and tell them that they've been reduced. Resolution to accept the letter from Minstrel Wind that their project has become unfeasible and that the town is closing the permit.
I'll second that.
Discussion on the motion.
You asked me to look up, I looked it up and I put the post-it with when they paid that and Barb's got it.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? Clerk, call the roll.
Steve?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I have a resolution here now. A resolution by the Darien Town Board effective July 18, 2020. The town is closing the transfer station due to the loss of sales tax revenue by the Genesee County Legislature, as this service has been supplemented from general fund that no longer has that revenue.
Second.
Discussion on the motion.
I don't know where I'm concerned let me backtrack. We have probably 43% of the population was using the transfer station before we increased prices up to $4 a day. It dropped down about 33% of our residences using the transfer station. That's a lot of, I feel that's a lot of people that using that service. I know there's different avenues to dispose of their refuse, but I don't like to see us lose a service that we're providing to the public if we can make it feasible. I looked over the numbers from the worksheet that I got from Alice. You guys have got a copy of it. On the bottom half of it shows the expenses from September 1st, 2019 to January 31st, 2020. And it shows a pretty good loss of $8,840 for that period, revenues versus expenses. But that, if you look at the graph, those numbers are picked off of are pulled from the highest cost months that we have up there. The cost actually during that 5-month period is about 28% more than the cost on the rest of the year averaged out. So if you take your expenses down by the 28%, our loss is really about $3,000 for that 5 months. I just feel there may be other ways to pull that down a little further so it's still feasible to operate that without, I don't know if we can get to a zero, a negative, a cost equal income to expense, but I would like a little more time to look at it, to be honest with you. We made the increase last year, and I think it was on September. We haven't had much time to really see how our cost is on compared to our revenues on there. So that's where I am. I just think it would be nice to have a little more time to sort through that.
Would you figure out why the other months were so high compared to?
Why the other months are refuges. If you look at the graph, spring cleaning is probably March, the end of March. So that makes sense there. During the summer, I don't know if people are busy, they just don't use but these are numbers pulled off the compactor costs, the tipping fees for compactor. So through the middle of the year, the summer, April through August, the tipping costs are not that bad, but for some reason from September, October, November, December being just about the highest, there's more use, tipping fees there's more tonnage leaves the landfill in those 5 months, and less tonnage leaves in the March through August. But anyway, that's just one. So basically, we pulled the numbers that are on the bottom here off of the high tipping fee costs, the high tonnage. So I think if we're only lost around $3,000 in the 5 months, we may be able to make that up somehow. We're no longer charging for television, or no longer accepting TVs. So that $1,300 cost right there would bring us down.
We're not accepting TVs.
We're getting revenue for them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So we're getting revenue for them. So that's not on here. It's gonna offset the cost of something. I'd like to table it for some time to have a better look at it, is all I'm saying. Once it's closed, it's gone. And when we have a third of the residents using it, I just think it's something that I'd like to take a little more time to investigate on.
How much time do you think we'll need?
Like, the next work session, it should be able to get. We don't have accurate numbers because of all that's going on. We have only 4 months worth of ticket sales from the price increase, and then 4 or 5 months there. And then this COVID, we closed the transfer station for how many months?
Oh, it was almost 6 weeks, I think.
A month and a half. So it's tough to get accurate numbers when those 2 events happened. So,
And it's gonna be tough to read it because I'm imagining from May 16th till June 16th, there's going to be a great influx of material down there because of people storing.
right. So it's tough to get good numbers.
And is there any way to track our revenue per month? I doubt there is, but
Ticket sales, contract sales.
The only way you can do it is
by punch
the,
cards.
the punch cards that I sell,
We don't check
but
the
you
number.
don't, no.
Usage, no. You can't track usage.
And then trying to put a monthly cost to it is tough because sometimes you pick up twice a month and sometimes you pick up 4 times a month, depending on how the dumpsters run. Open top is still there or did we do away with that?
It's there because it was there,
Okay,
kind of what we're gonna do here when it's fall,
right.
get rid of it. If we're gonna stay open, and we'll do what we did last year and everything goes up on top.
Okay.
And I did load 4 walking trailers today up there. So that's coming in, and that's all C&D.
C&D.
And then, so when that comes in, yeah, that's gonna be another cost, because I didn't do anything with that last year. It was springtime last year, so that cost is all of through last year, fall, till now. And so you're talking 120 ton times 50 some bucks. So,
$6 grand. Something like that.
something like that, yeah.
So, to add to the discussion, the only thing, right now, because we took 6 weeks out of the landfill, we're halfway through. Budget-wise, we're toast anyways. We're going to be putting revenues in to offset the loss of putting some funds that were set aside, because they weren't really, they're not earmarked for anything, they're just extra funds. So we can use that to offset our sales tax loss. I just need to know what direction this board wants to go by October, so I can put a budget together next year. That being said, we have time if you want, or we can stop. It doesn't matter to me, I just need to know what way we're going by October, because I have to somehow build a budget.
You have to build a budget in September.
That's what I need, by October, I need to know. So that's the only thing on my end that I need to try and build a budget to reflect what we're going to do with the landfill next year and how we're going to pay for it.
So,
I agree with what Mike had to say in regards to his findings. You know, I know it hurts. I know it hurts the town too. And with the loss of the sales tax revenue, it's gonna be tough for us next year, real tough. But with that being said, I would hate to lose something if we don't have to. So, I mean, I don't mind if we wait a little bit longer. It's just my opinion. He's got some valid points, and really haven't extended out a little bit longer than when with the COVID, we really didn't have the numbers to totally figure out if we're saving or losing.
I guess my comment would be that because we were out for 6 weeks because of the COVID, you know, residents are somewhat primed, or at least becoming accustomed to not having that service. So this might be the right time to cut that service if we're going to, because they're already starting to become accustomed to not having it.
Yeah, I think with the downturn in the usage from 43% of the town population, or the town residents, to 33%, I think that you could say a lion's share of that is due to the increase in the fees for the service. I don't think that a lot of it has to do with being shut down for 6 weeks or not. I think it's just with the charges up, people have found other ways to do it. And I really don't think that we're gonna get most of those people coming back just because it's open and it's gonna stay open. And, you know, I do agree with Mike that, you know, we don't just cut services to cut services, but in the state we're in right now, I think this would be the best time to do it, considering that, you know, we have no revenue coming in. We don't know when we're gonna get revenue coming in again.
Could I get, okay, let's, if I got better, if I had a month to just put this together a little better, to better look at it, 'cause I just quickly scribbled today down information from what I had and tried to put together another 30 days to my next work session talk. Because that's what I had, and I agree that the users are gonna continue to diminish, I expect that. And it also, as far as, what Mike said down the other end, this is probably the time to do it, but I would just like a little more time to have a better look, a better understanding of what we're doing. There's other things to consider too, there's, the town hall generates trash, the fire department generates, trash, we still have to figure out what we're doing with that. There's a few more details I'd like to understand better before we just make the decision.
Is there any way we could table this for this meeting and address it in July and still meet the closing date of July 18th?
The person that puts the resolution together can pull the resolution. And I put the resolution together, so if I'm hearing that you guys would like another month, I can do that.
Do you actually pull it or do you table
I actually would pull it because I got a second on it.
So
No,
then it
we have
just
to
ceases-
table it. We have to table it. We can table it.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Our garbage from here goes over there, correct?
Yes,
Okay. The fire department garbage, where does that go?
it goes there.
It goes there also.
We take care of it. It's in the contract.
We take care of it as a contract, okay? So I think looking at that part of it, what is that gonna cost us on a monthly?
$26.
$26?
Yep.
Okay.
Because we would get their service here.
But the fire department, we're responsible for that.
Yeah.
Now, when they have a party,
Sure.
it'd be more, I would say you're gonna wanna get a small dumpster.
$175 a month.
You agree?
Huh?
Well,
that much?
Oh. With the ticket.
Mom and dad and us.
Oh, the smaller
The small
ones.
The
Yeah.
smaller one, it's not that much.
How much is it?
Well, because they have the farm, it's $60 a month. Without the farm exemption, it's 75.
$75 a month.
So I think those are things we,
Yeah.
you know, at the same time, we take into consideration come, you know, if we're gonna table this, we need to take, you know, those other costs into consideration also.
Okay. I make a resolution that we table the landfill transfer station closing until the July meeting.
So you're tabling the transfer station closing resolution?
I'm tabling the transfer resolution, yes.
I'll second that.
Clerk to call the roll.
One of them had actually asked if that would still meet the July, I think it was Tim, asked if it would still meet the July 18th closing deadline if you table it.
Yes, because we would need to make sure that if people are still buying tickets, that they would have to be able to use them. So it would be pushing it for 1 month, from what I can see.
Wait, who was the second on that? I'm sorry.
I guess I would just, my comment would be on that, Alice, if somebody comes in and wants to buy a lot of tickets, you might want to advise them,
It's only your
it's under discussion, that the tickets, that there's a chance that the transfer station will be closing. Don't buy a ton of tickets. Buy what you figure you could use, you know,
Okay.
to be fair.
Clerk to call the roll. When you're ready.
Steve?
Yes.
Mike Fix?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Mike Grant?
Yes.
Table for 1 month. Notifications. Status of sewer treatment plant. We do have our new speeds permit from DEC for the sewer treatment plant. We are still investigating avenues on engineering for the sewer treatment plant. That is a very slow process with us working from home and not being able to have office time and everything else. We do have a deadline coming up in August 20-something for the DEC, and we have to have a plan presented to them by then. If it gets to be July 20th, I will be asking for an extension at that point in time because of this. I've already talked to DEC, and they are pretty much in agreement that this is unusual, and we probably will get an extension. But I'm pushing Bruce to try and get this done so we don't keep dragging it on. Status on the proposed town line water district. We are waiting for the engineer from Monroe County, and right now we're having problems with Monroe County because that water supply is coming out of Batavia, and we're in Darien, and they're having to have some kind of an agreement in place that if they ever decide to take the thing back, it would be Monroe County water instead of Batavia water. Yeah, I know. It would be so much easier if all the costs for the water in the whole county were the same, and it wouldn't be a problem. So that's where we're at on that. He was hoping to have a letter from them so that we could kind of build our letter off of it at this board meeting so that we could submit it, but we don't have it yet, so. Courtroom and meeting room opening status. We had a board work session, and we talked about opening this up for seniors. We don't know when the court will open. I talked to Gary yesterday. Gary seems to think that it's going to be at least 3 to 4 weeks yet. They can only do certain things in here, and they keep waffling about how to do it. So he's not getting clear direction from his court administration. So that being said, he says he would not expect us to have any court proceedings in here for at least 3 weeks. So, but as soon as he knows, he will let us know on what we might need for shields or whatever here. That's the best I can do because he doesn't know. They said they can work, they said they can open, but yet they're not letting them open. I don't know how else to put that. It seems ridiculous, but I would think that they would make a statement that they're open and then let it work, but apparently that's a wrong statement to make. Now, also, because of the courtroom meeting room status, June 23rd is the special election, and we will have a polling place in this room. Alice has done a lot of work here on it, trying to come up with a plan. The polling, Genesee County Elections Bureau has asked the towns to help them with this, with some input. So that's where we stand on that. We are going to have an election here in this town hall. We are going to keep the 2 cleanings going. Masks are required for that. We will put a sign up outside. Now, that should be nothing different than people going out in public because masks are required out in public. So, are we going to supply masks? No, I don't supply masks for the town of Darien residents. They get their own. I'm not going to supply them for people coming in for court or anything else. So, and I've already told the judge that. So, he says you might have to. I said, yeah. What are they going to do? The whole funds back on me? They're doing that already. So, that being said, I think we have 2 things. Snow and ice contract for the county. It's a 1-year contract now. We received that, and Neil, you had a chance to review it, correct?
Yes.
And you're okay with the 1-year contract The amount was the same as this year?
It's up $1,000
Okay.
from last year.
With that is the mowing?
Mowing is separate from that,
It's a,
but it's in the same contract.
Same
It's all- Yeah, yes.
and that's a one-year contract? The mowing.
Yes, everything, it's all signed and it's a 1 year. I think right now, 1 year contract's way better than, I mean, who wants to go 5 years out right now?
Yeah, well, they'll just break it.
Well, right.
I'm sorry, did I say that out
But
loud?
if you can't pay it, they're gonna change it, so why do
Yeah, I
go
mean,
any further than 1 year?
you can't, again,
Right now,
contract's
it's,
only as
year
good
by
as,
year.
contract's only as good as the two parties that sign it. Right now, the party that we're dealing with has no backbone, so. You can put that in the paper if you want.
I don't think they get that people out there.
Well, maybe I'll make a special trip and drop one off to them, sorry. So I'm asking right now in the form of a resolution to allow the town supervisor to sign the snow and ice contract with the county for 1 year, for this winter coming up, and also for the mowing this year.
I'll second that.
Discussion on the motion? Clerk, call the roll.
Steve,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Also received, now, we're gonna have to dig into this one. In November, we received a shared services agreement for the county. I believe that was passed by the last board and signed. But they keep bothering me in emails saying that they don't have it. Alice, could you look that up and see if we do have it? And if we
is
do
that the
have,
thing that they just sent? They sent a shared service agreement.
no, okay, I got two of them wrong. I've got the shared service agreement on file now for the county.
From the county.
Yes, this is the emergency management plan. That should have came back in the fall. And I thought that it was passed. Decided. I'm sorry, so we do have an agreement with the county. It is on file.
Yep, it
In
just
my
came in
office.
this last week, right?
Did you want a copy?
I had one.
You got it, okay.
Yes.
And the last thing is we received the statement and it says period, so I'm not sure what period it's for, but the mortgage tax for the town of Darien, it was $38,925. And I'm not sure what period that covers. I know in the budget, Dave had 35,000 budgeted, so I'm not sure if it's a 1 year period or if it's a 6 month period or what. I want to ask for a breakdown of that from the county. They just told me it was for the period, so I don't know what the period is. Okay?
38,000, what was that number? 38,000?
No. That's wrong. 32,940 now. And Dave had 35,000 budget.
For the period?
Yes. No, for the year.
The year.
So I'm not sure what the period means. I've got a note into the county to say, could you please break this down for me? Other supervisors probably know because they've done it before, but I don't, so I want it broken. Now, I think I'm caught up on my end. Highway report.
With the county, we did receive the snow and ice contract money.
Yes.
The final payment this last week, so we're all caught up with the county now.
Yeah.
So we got paid for last year, so that's all set.
Interestingly enough for the board, we do all their work. And then this year we got paid in the first week in May and the last week in May. So we had to front the money for them for the whole year and then we get paid for it. Interestingly enough.
They're supposed to pay in February and then in April. There was a mistake, nothing was paid, and then it came in May, two of them in May. That's how it happened this year. It wasn't supposed to, but that's what happened. But we got our money, so. Speaking of contracts, the state, they paid their second payment on the snow and ice to Steve about it. And the second payment was $32,046.19. That was a total of $147,319. Our contract's $172,909. I put a call into Andrew Schick, who's head of that, and I have not heard back from him yet. I will have to get contact with them. They do run, you get 2/3 of your payment no matter what. The last third depends on the mileage that the DOT puts on their trucks. And if they're short, you don't get the full amount, but they did pay a portion of the second. I always thought it was that once you make over the 2/3 of your mileage that they got, you get the full amount. So I gotta find out why we're $25,000 short on our full contract. So next month, I'll let you know.
Neil, didn't we have that problem last year?
Oh, every year is a problem. But, yes, I think we did have an issue. We went through a contract dispute last year with them.
Wasn't
And
it something to do with the snowfall amount?
the state works off of J miles. It's all off of mileage. That's what they work off. The county works off of snow total and snow coverage on the ground, how many days it snows on the ground. So that's how they work it. So their contracts look the same, but their formula is a little different, how they figure how much, for the extra money, if you're gonna get any extra money.
Sure.
So. State mowing contract, after last month, I told you that they're not paying, we're not mowing. Week later, they called me, they're offering all the POs, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna pay, so we're back on duty of mowing.
We did sign that and send that in.
Yes, that's all taken care of, yep. Everything is in good working order, did some ditching and driveway pipes, we're mowing roadsides now, we're about halfway through the town, mowing. Been working with some towns, been a lot of paving going on already, a little oiling going on, been working with a few other towns. Matter of fact, next week, Thursday, I plan on finishing my project on Harlow Road from 7th to 8 to Broadway, topping that, with blacktop. And, as this year goes, I've talked to Steve a lot about, money and stuff like that. I do one project, see what I got, go to the next project. And, we're being very conservative how much we're spending and just making sure we get stuff taken care of, what needs to be taken care of. I do have some roads of oil that's gotta get taken care of, but I should be well in what we were talking about. So I hope so, close to it. But yeah, we'll be in good shape.
What we saved this year, we're going to leave in his budget under reserve, and we're gonna use it towards his budget next year to help offset some of the costs. So that's what we want.
In the CHIPS money, I did hear some more on that. There was an email sent to me yesterday. The money is still all earmarked in there. You got CHIPS money, you got Pave New York, and you got Extreme Winter. It's all the same thing. They just give different names to smaller amounts. The CHIPS money is about 115,000, and then we get another 20,000 each in the other two. I'm kind of guessing the other two might fade out if anything goes. That's what they're telling me in this email this is from the association leaders. They're writing letters to the governor and they're telling them all this, you need to spend the money's there, spend it, makes jobs, da 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 da. And so hopefully we get that 115,000. So that's not out of our money. So we'll pray and hope that. So that's what I got for highway.
Thank you, CEO. I think you have a report from him. I saw. Planning board, they're on hiatus. Town attorney, I did talk to the town attorney. He is on stop on the one issue, and he is investigating preliminary on the other issue that we talked about at the work session. Assessor, they just had their bar, and I think there was 3.
Yes.
They told me. Outcomes, we know 1, I don't know the other 2. The other 2 were.
Oh, then there were actually 4.
There was 4? Okay, there was 4 total. Building inspector,
Oh, actually, his printer had died, and with everything going on, he wanted to ask permission, even though it's just under $100 to replace the printer.
okay, now I'm smiling under the mask. We do have a line item for equipment that we try not to use, but if we need to use it, we have to use it. I think I need a motion on that.
Motion to authorize the building inspector to spend not to exceed $100 for a new printer.
I'll second that. Is there gonna be shipping that?
No, there won't be shipping. And we'll have to get printer ink, but printer ink we have to get.
No matter what, that's good. That comes out of the central. Okay, ZBA, they're in Hallie's. Oh, there's a vote on that. Take the roll, please.
Mike,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Yes. I thought you were quicker than that, but you're done. ZBA, town engineer, right now Bruce, like I said, is working on the sewer treatment plant. The engineer for Alexander is working on our part of it. If our part of it goes through, he will get paid through the town of Darien on that petition. But again, it's like pulling teeth to try and get anything done. Town clerk,
I have nothing.
tax collector, you done?
I have nothing.
Historian, no report. Treatment plant,
Yeah, the numbers were good. We're done, we're in June now. Now it's, summer limits. Ammonia's come right down. I'm just waiting to see what BOD does. Like Steve said, we did get a report finally from the pilot from Stream Go that was out here in March. Bruce sent an email and he had a lot of questions on it and he sent it back, so we're still kind of waiting, what's going to go on with that. It's just one avenue of what you're gonna do to the plant if you possibly go this route to fix the problems that are there. I had, last month I told you, I did have all the relays in the pump station updated, and the wiring, there's a bunch of wiring that had to be changed in, and that's been taken care of. And the guy was there, he's been there for 3 days doing all the bearings on the blowers and the motors to the blowers. They'll be done tomorrow with that. So that's every 5 or 6 years, they have them come in and go through all that and they make sure they're working correctly. It's kind of funny, the one blower in there has been running for 23 years, 7 days a week, 24 hours, has never had a bearing change, and we just changed them. And he said that they just started to sound like or felt like they were getting a little dry. I was like, wow. The other two I've had them changed before, but the one, it's hard to believe somebody can run that long and never had an issue. But I'll take it. That's all I got.
thank you, Neil. Council report.
I just want to recognize the members of the board and the clerk who assisted with placing flags on the veterans' graves. So the service that we provide. It was actually quite enjoyable, seeing some of the history in our town, learn a little bit.
I found Stephen King's grave.
Oh, man, beat Stephen King, I think he's still alive.
No, the one that
No, the tavern owner. See, that's more history than there is.
Which cemetery was that?
And the one by Penny Miller's.
Up in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice cemetery.
Mike, you all set?
Yes.
Thank you for that.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Really? Tim,
I have nothing.
Mike?
I've got a price on a set of pads for the AED. They're gonna expire, the sticky gets, dragged out on those, so.
Okay.
I'll get a price on those and we'll see if I get new ones.
Do we have only one? Do we have one in the highway department?
We do not. It's the only one that's here.
Should we?
Yes. I think we might want to get one out there.
Someone's gonna flop over.
Well, look at.
We don't want it.
Look, I always like to do that because now that I'm approaching 60, I would like to have a
Wanna be able to
second.
get back.
People come in with their time, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, not really, not in that.
Well, it's gonna take Crooklyn.
Would you price it out? We'll talk about it the next board meeting.
Also, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the supervisor's cash report for the month of April 2020.
I'll second that.
Motion on the floor, seconded, discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mike,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes. Alice, would you be so kind as to read the abstract, please?
Sure. General fund claims 124 through 143 for $16,491.26. Highway claims 50 through 64 for $23,771.69. Sewer sewer district number 1 claims 30 through 39 for $3,906.05. And trust and agency claim number 2 for $24.86.
I make a motion we accept the, pay the bills. I'm sorry.
I'll second that.
Just a side note, that $24.80 was a check that went to Nicole Kelly that never got cash last year. So that got voided and we issued another one. So that's why the trust and agency got a check like that. Okay? You don't see that very often, just thought I'd tell you. Okay. Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mike,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes. Comments from the public? Nothing? We're looking for that motion.
Make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Tim,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes. Thank you. I should have did that in meetings, thank you.